It was December 4th, 1872. The cold Atlantic Ocean stretched endlessly before the Dei Gratia, a merchant ship bound for Europe. The voyage had been quiet, until something unusual appeared on the horizon. The lookout spotted a ship, its sails torn, its movements drifting aimlessly across the mist-covered sea. It was as though the vessel had been abandoned to the ocean, left to the mercy of the waves. As the Dei Gratia drew closer, the eerie silence of the scene became more unsettling. The ship appeared intact, yet no crew could be seen on deck. No flags were raised, no distress signals flown. Only the faint creak of the sails could be heard above the sound of the water. The crew, now standing at the railings, whispered among themselves, their eyes locked on the ghostly vessel. The name on the ship's bow became clear as they neared Mary Celeste. Little did the sailors know what they were about to discover would become one of the greatest mysteries in maritime history. The Mary Celeste was completely deserted. The Mary Celeste was not a ship of misfortune. She was a strong brigantine, built to withstand the harshest seas. On her final voyage, she carried Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 8 seasoned crewmen. But on that day in December, the ship was found adrift in the Atlantic, utterly abandoned. Inside, everything appeared untouched. The crew's personal belongings were still in place. Clothes lay neatly folded, and the beds remained made, as if waiting for their occupants to return. In the galley, food sat undisturbed, plates with half-eaten meals, cups still full of liquid. There was no sign of a struggle. No blood, no damage. The ship's logbook showed no sign of distress. Yet the crew, 10 souls in total, had vanished, leaving behind an eerie silence that echoed through the empty halls. Most unsettling was the discovery that the lifeboat was missing, but the crew had left behind all their supplies, tools, navigational instruments, and provisions, everything they would have needed for survival at sea. Why would they abandon ship in such haste, and why leave so much behind? This was the question that haunted the sailors of the Dei Gratia as they stood on the deck of the ghostly vessel, the stillness of the sea around them growing more oppressive with every passing moment. The disappearance of the crew of the Mary Celeste left behind more questions than answers. Over the years, countless theories have emerged, each more chilling and puzzling than the last. One of the earliest theories was that a sudden, violent storm may have convinced Captain Briggs and his crew that the ship was in danger of sinking. A rogue wave or waterspout could have filled the lower decks with water, giving the illusion that the ship was doomed. In a panic, they might have fled in the lifeboat, hoping to wait out the storm. But when the Mary Celeste was found, she was completely seaworthy. The bilge pump had been disassembled, but no substantial water damage was found inside. Another theory points to the ship's cargo, 1,700 barrels of denatured alcohol. It's possible that leaking fumes from the cargo could have caused the crew to fear an imminent explosion. In their desperation, they may have abandoned ship, hoping to return once the danger had passed. But when the barrels were examined later, only 9 had leaked, and not enough to cause a deadly buildup of fumes. Pirates were common in the Atlantic during the 19th century. Some believe that the Mary Celeste fell victim to a pirate attack. But why would pirates leave the valuable cargo and personal items untouched? Others have speculated about mutiny, that the crew overthrew Captain Briggs and abandoned ship. But no evidence of foul play has ever been found, and all signs pointed to a crew that had simply vanished into thin air. And then, there are the more extraordinary explanations. Some believe the Mary Celeste was cursed, a ship doomed from the start. Others point to paranormal activity, ghosts, spirits, or even sea monsters that might have dragged the crew away. More recently, alien abduction theories have surfaced, further fueling the mystery. The Mary Celeste was found with no signs of a struggle, no damage, and no crew. Was there something darker at play? The final voyage of the Mary Celeste began on November 7, 1872. She set sail from New York, carrying Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their young daughter Sophia, and 8 experienced sailors. Their destination was Genoa, Italy, a long but routine journey for a ship as sturdy as the Mary Celeste. The crew had every reason to expect a safe and successful passage across the Atlantic. Captain Briggs was known for his caution and precision. His log entries reflect a typical voyage: calm seas, manageable weather. Yet on November 25th, just days before the crew disappeared, something must have changed. The last entry in the ship's log was recorded 400 miles from the Azores, with no hint of the impending disaster. No distress signals were sent, no messages in a bottle, no clear explanation of why the crew would abandon the ship. And so the Mary Celeste continued to sail on, empty and aimless, for nearly 10 more days until the DI Gracia discovered her. What happened in those lost days? Where did the crew go? Why was everything left behind, as if they had simply vanished into thin air? The Mary Celeste, once a symbol of maritime strength, had now become a symbol of mystery, a ghost ship floating silently in the Atlantic. The disappearance of the crew of the Mary Celeste has puzzled historians, sailors, and investigators for over a century. Each new theory brings with it more questions than answers. Was it an accident? A series of unfortunate events? Or something far more sinister? The Mary Celeste lived on, her reputation growing as one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. Though the ship was salvaged and returned to service, she never escaped the shadow of her ghostly legacy. Sailors who set foot on her deck spoke of a strange, foreboding atmosphere, as if the ship itself held the secrets of that fateful voyage. By 1885, the Mary Celeste met her final end, wrecked off the coast of Haiti, her mysterious story sinking into the depths, never to be solved. Perhaps it was just a tragic series of events, a freak accident that forced the crew to abandon ship in haste. Or maybe, just maybe, something darker was at work, something we'll never fully understand.